Hello, this is Frank Valente with eXp Realty in Northern California. Welcome to my video blog. I just got a call from a potential seller and they asked me, hey Frank, should I get my home pre-inspected prior to going on the market? And the quick answer is absolutely yes. So here's one way I like to tell people how I think about it is if you ever bought a used car, it's nice to have that Carfax report telling you the maintenance that's gone on in the car, if they've done all the recalls, if there's been any damages, repairs. It's nice to have that written report from that independent third-party Carfax. So prior to putting your home on the market, absolutely. There's, depending on your home, the area, the age, there's going to be different inspections that I may recommend. Certainly, I'm always going to recommend a whole house inspection, which is where the home inspector, he's going to kind of give your house go all through all the systems on the house. And based on his report, or he may recommend additional inspections. In California, pest inspections are always been a big deal, especially with lenders. That's where you're looking for signs of infestation or conditions that could lead to infestation, things like dry rot or leaks. So that's what we refer to as a pest inspection. You may want to, depending on the age of the roof, do a roof inspection. Those are getting easier to do, especially with the use of drones. So the inspectors actually don't have to go crawling on top of your roof, which is, especially if you have a tile roof, that's nice. Again, depending on the age, maybe a sewer inspection. If the home is out in a rural area, you're on a septic, for sure getting the septic inspected. If you're on a well, do a well inspection, which is going to test for two things: productivity of the well, how much water that well's produced, and then also potability. And then, on an older home, you may have to do what we call like a sewer inspection. Also, you may want to get a contractor look at your HVAC system and your heating and cooling, get an HVAC inspection. Older homes, sometimes it's nice to have an electrician go through the house and look at your power panel and look at what type of fuses and what type of wiring's in the house. So those are just a lot of inspections. I'm certainly not going to recommend all those, but again, we're going to probably start with that whole house inspection and usually that pest inspection. So what's nice about getting this done ahead of time? And you want to get ahead of issues. So what I hate to see or hate to have happen is we're in escrow, we've gotten a buyer for your home, you negotiated a contract, and always we're going to allow that buyer do inspections themselves. So if we're in the middle of escrow and you haven't, say, got the well inspected and we find out that the well isn't producing enough, depending on the county, it's a low producing well, that could be a really big issue. Now, it may be an easy correction. It may be something to do with, just the pump or the level of the well. Another example, if we're in escrow, let's say you get that pest inspection done where they're going to look for dry rot primarily or water leaks. Those are conditions that could lead to dry rot, which would attract termites. Well, they're also going to give a bid, and their bid is usually a pretty high retail number. Okay. And also in the eyes of the buyer, that these repair costs could be, pretty exorbitant. You always get that buyer that may be talking to their brother-in-law and their brother says, oh my God, you got all those repairs, that's going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. And by the same token, you could be the seller saying, yeah, I know my house has some dry rot issues. It's only going to be, $500-$600 to fix. My brother-in-law said I could do it. Right. So I'm beating up on our brother-in-laws. But in the eyes of the buyer, and in the eyes of the seller, those repair costs could be way off. So again, get these inspections done ahead of time. You could get more than one bid. Even if you're not going to do the repairs, you could at least have some better bids and have some contractors lined up that can do the bid. So, when I've talked about getting a home pre-inspected, here's a couple other questions that come up. One, is there any required inspections? The answer is absolutely. There could be. Depends on your county, your city. There may be some required inspections that the city or the county may require prior to close of escrow. Also, depending on the loan, sometimes the lender, typically is going to want to see a pest inspection and have what we call a clear Section 1, which is there's no signs of dry rot or infestation. Those are especially popular with VA loans. So depending on the loan, the lender may ask for an inspection. And even sometimes if the lender goes out and doesn't ask for it up front, when the appraiser gets there, he may see some conditions, say, you know what, we need to get a roof inspection on this house. And sometimes even if the appraiser doesn't ask for the inspection, and now that loan is in the underwriting process, and the underwriter who's looking at pictures of the house and looking at the appraisal report, again, this is the person working for the lenders, he may say, you know what, that's a pretty old house. It looks like there's some dry rot. I want to get a pest inspection. So there are some inspections that could be required either by, again, the state, the city, the county, or your lender. Now, I've also been asked, Frank, is this a waste of time? Or should we just wait till the buyer, let them do the inspections? Well, you certainly can, but you could end up in a no man's land. So if you use reputable companies that are inspectors, that get some referrals from agents, and this is absolutely, I don't make any money by pushing one particular inspection company or another, but get some recommendations from people in the business of what are the right inspections that are appropriate for your house. So for example, if your house is 5 years old, it's probably you probably don't need to get a roof inspection, maybe. So that may be a good example of an inspection that may not be required. Again, the short answer, when you're getting the home ready to sell, I absolutely would get some inspections done. If you got any questions on these, please call or email, and have a great day. Bye-bye.